October 21st, two top welterweights will fight to determine who will be the WBO welterweight mandatory for Terence Crawford's belts. And of course, it is Alexis Rocha versus Giovani Santillan. Of course, it is a very good matchup. And although Rocha does have one loss, he is 23-1 with 15 knockouts. That one loss came when he was like 20 years old. He was very young when he fought Rashidi Ellis, who is much more of a grown man than he is. But of course, he'll be facing the undefeated Giovani Santillan, who is 31-0 with 16 knockouts. Although not a knockout artist, you could tell he's a good boxer. Of course, it will be a very interesting matchup as, undefeated record on the line and mandatory position. Because Rocha is the mandatory. I think he does have the belt, the mandatory belt. And of course, both will be giving up something in this fight. Not just, one dude's undefeated, one dude's not. But, And of course, Rocha is the golden boy. He's been given not that good of an opponent. He was given Anthony Young and George Ashley, which are two fights that are weird because Young did not have any knockout power. So keeping Rocha off of him was not really an option. So, I don't want to say he was destined for failure, but he was kind of destined for failure. George Ashley never fought in the elite level or even close. He fought in with the British level, the Commonwealth level, and he had his chin up. Although he was landing a lot of shots on Rocha, he never really had really a way to take advantage of it. He did have more power, but it was against lesser opposition. So, he got knocked out too. Giovani, although does not have the highest KO percentage, he is somewhat of a pressure fighter. I would assume he would attempt to pressure Rocha, but he is a good boxer, don't get me wrong. Obviously, winning that many by decision, it's very clear that you could outbox your opponent. But with Rocha also being a pressure fighter, but with a little bit more power, it's gonna be a very interesting matchup because both of them are gonna attempt to put their will onto each other. Obviously, both don't want to lose because one loses his record, one loses his undefeated record, and his chance to be mandatory. And Rocha will of course lose his mandatory position. None of them want that. Who do I think is gonna win? Oh, it's gonna be a tough fight because Giovani, although doesn't have too much knockout power, I think he does have enough pop in his punch to be able to back up Rocha for at least quite some time before Rocha's power will be able to push back Giovani. The difference is who's better at fighting on the back fight. And that's a very tough question because both of them rarely ever fight in the back fight. Thing is, both of them get hit quite a bit. Both of them have not faced an elite level opposition within themselves. So obviously, the only elite opponent on their resume is themselves. Of course, Rocha fought Ellis, but that was like 6 years ago. And, I don't think that really works anymore. But of course, how do I think this one's going to go? To be honest, I think Rocha will have enough power to do more damage, especially with more eye-catching shots. Differences, I think he will have to do a little bit more of the moving because Giovani gets close. He does do a little bit of some movement, although not all the time. He will. He's very close and very good close range. And by close range, I mean really close range, like clinch range. Like he's the one that grab you, push you, and then boom, crack you, right? But I don't think Giovani has any power to really put Rocha's, actual position at risk. I don't think he does. So I think he's going to be banking off a decision. But if he were to fight like he usually does and try to bang away, I think he's going to get banged away first. I think he's going to break first if he were to try to do that with Rocha. But then again, if he installs his will on Rocha early and makes him unsure of his own ability, Giovani can win, right? But considering this is on a Golden Boy card in California, very high chance that the judges will most likely be in Rocha's favor. Now, that being said, does that matter? No, I don't think so. I think Rocha will win. I think he'll tire him to the body, although not too much. I don't think it's going to be a stoppage. I think this one definitely go in decision. But I think Rocha will show something. Rocha has been a very accurate fighter, especially in the newer ones, although not against stellar opposition. Giovani has also hasn't fought elite opposition either, so both of them are going to be something new to both of them. But I think Alexis Rocha will have enough power to secure himself a unanimous decision win over Giovani. Giovani is a good boxer, but the way he fights, which Rocha also kind of fights, does leave him open to a lot of power shots, and Rocha will 100% take advantage of that. And I think his more natural power, and by natural power I mean him being obviously the one with power, will break down Giovani, which will make him somewhat slower, and Rocha will take the last 4 rounds from Giovani, which will most likely secure him the victory. This will be a very interesting fight. Giovani is not some chum that's gonna be there for a paycheck. He's gonna be there to win. So it's gonna be a very interesting match. If you're Team Giovani, hey, I can see that too. But as of now, I'm Team Rocha. Until I see some new sparring footage or whatever, maybe I'll think, okay, maybe Giovani got something. But no, I think Rocha will pull off the decision win. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. The next one will, of course, be the Makhachev versus Volkanovski fight. I did not know that was going to be a thing, but whatever. But anyways, like I said, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Face breaker. Jump. Champ.